Good morning, Holly. I see you there. Let me know if the music is too loud. Since it was just me, I was just kind of listening to it at my usual volume. Also, yes, I'm supposed to be writing, but I'm actually on my phone. Don't judge me. Having a moment. I don't know about you, but hi, Cassidy. I don't know about you guys, but I find that I usually have a harder time. Like once I get started on writing, I have an easier time of things, but like actually getting into the swing of it, I'm super, Ty, do you mind? I'm super like procrastinating. And then once I hit my stride, all the distractions kind of go away. But Ty, this is not your live stream. You can't do this to me every single time. Thanks for that. Holly, I understand your pain of writing with tiny people, except I write with a tiny cat. Not as much danger, except every single time I open my mouth, she wants to be in my lap. Okay, I promise I'm getting off my phone soon, guys. She does love me. The older she gets, she's making up for all the years that she didn't love me. So she feels like she needs to be in my lap at all hours of the day. Yeah, I realized belatedly I forgot to put the link to this on my Instagram, so I'm trying to fix that. Okay, I'm back to writing, I promise. Again, if anybody doesn't like the music or thinks it's too loud or anything, let me know and I can turn it down. I'm just cycling through my Star Chaser writing playlist, so. Should probably make this screen smaller so I can actually see when people type things. Hi, Lily. Also, I'm not bothered, but how fast does the time go that Lily is now old enough to say hi? I still remember when she was a literal newborn, and that makes me so sad. Hey, Chopper. Hopefully you are feeling in the mood to work on your crime thriller novel. I don't know how to genre it. Oh, look, Chopper, my cat also says hi. Yes, yes, Ty. The people are all here to see you. Yay. So you guys can, just so you know, like feel free to, you obviously don't have to write, but whatever you're working on, feel free to mention it in the chat and Oh, and also hi. See, Chief, I'm not going to call you by your name because I would butcher it. But feel free to mention how your writing is going. I'm basically just me personally I'm writing something that's a spinoff of Star Chaser because I'm not supposed to technically be drafting yet. So I'm just working on a spinoff to kind of get my mojo back in. So I am a good babysitter, Holly. You can hire me anytime. I just hand kids markers and let them go crazy on cardboard boxes, and it usually works. So, all right. I left myself off in the middle of a line, and I don't remember where I was going with this. Yes, Chief, the secret is out. You can no longer hide from the internet. You've now told all of YouTube who you really are. Also, Chief, I'd like to know which project you're working on. Because, you know, with you, we're never sure. Cassidy, yes, I am writing the B-Man spinoff, which was what I really wanted to write last night when I had to go to bed. So I still have a little bit of a headache, so I'm trying to power through. All right. Ew, Chief, gross homework. I thought you weren't going to do that essay. Did you decide that sticking it to the man was not a thing for this weekend? Yes, this is what writing looks like for me. 90% of it is me staring into the distance, trying to think of a certain word. Cassidy is going to understand what I'm talking about here because we are buddy reading a series together right now, and I keep almost typing the names of the characters from that series instead of my own. I should not have read like 150 pages of somebody else's book before I started working on mine. I mean, Cassidy, that would be really bad because it would say aiding the downtrodden and then they kissed. I don't think that that's a good practice for a therapist to aid the downtrodden and then kiss their patients. I think that breaks some kind of, hypocritical oath. Apologies to anybody among us who are doctors. I know it's actually the Hippocratic Oath, but I have drunk too much coffee and not done anything to work it off. So I'm a little bit hyper right now. What is my main character's name? Okay, no, I remember it. Chief, it's okay. It's your last. Well, I don't actually know if it's your last year in school, but you don't have to listen to the authority. Break the chains. Stay up as late as you want. You're a strong, independent adult who don't need no homework or curfew. I am a great influence. Holly, don't actually let me babysit. Not B-Man, Cassidy. I'm thinking of the princess. I couldn't remember her name. I kept almost calling her Selena, and I'm like, no, I need to get out of the Throne Glass universe and back into mine for a little bit here. Okay. So, yes, I am procrastinating by talking to you guys. Don't judge me. I don't know if anybody else deals with this, but I tend to give my characters phantom anime syndrome if I need them to be sick. Like so many animes that my husband has made me sit down and watch. There's a main character who has like an unknown sickness. They never say what it is, but it's usually along the lines of like they get sick and pass out and run fevers, and it's life threatening. And I'm realizing that like I've done that to one of my characters, and I am so ashamed. Okay, let me see. Holly saying, "Oh no, Holly, I hate when that happens." Like, so this is, and I know you have those like waterproof notepads that you put in your shower. Those are literally one of the best inventions ever, because I feel like shower inspiration is the most kind of inspiration. The time it takes you to finish showering, dry off, and get somewhere to your phone or your laptop that you can write it down, it's gone. Like so much faster than any other ideas. I'm very sorry that you lost whatever that idea was. Are you sure that the well, I guess the counterterrorism spinoff wouldn't be part of Thicker Than Blood, but I wonder if it's somehow tied to that. Maybe if you get back in the shower, you'll remember. I actually have some that somebody bought me for Christmas, and I never sharpened the pencils. So I have it in my shower with an unsharpened pencil, and it sits there and taunts me when I'm like, oh, this is a great idea, but I have soap in my eyes. And it's like, well, sucks to be you. Sorry about the pets in the background. The dog just walked in, and Ty feels like her personal space is invaded, even though there's a good 6 feet between them. Ty, it's quite all right, honey. All right. Chopper, I feel like that's a very subtle backhand to Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey, and I am here for it. You should do it. Sorry, I'm watching the cat to make sure she doesn't try and pop the dog on the nose. Do it. I hate when I think of one word. It is so close to the word I'm looking for. And I almost put the wrong word. It completely changes the meaning. I was thinking indignant tension, but I almost put undignified tension, which I mean is a little bit undignified in this situation. But anyway. Apparently my character has separated himself into multiple people because I meant to put join him and I put join them. Work on this essay, I see. Chief, actually, I misquoted you. It's write this essay. And by essay, I hope you mean demons. Ty agrees. Now you have to do it. Hello, Watson. Thank you for joining us. I managed not to say that in a Benedict Cumberbatch voice, even though I really wanted to. So welcome, welcome. If you'd like, you can let us know what you're working on, or if you prefer not to say, that's fine too. Please feel free to comment on the music if I need to turn it down, or if you prefer I changed it. And whoop, here comes a cat. She's taken to walking on my keyboard lately. I'm trying to break her that habit. And yeah, feel free to ask any questions or comment on anything. This is a free and open forum. I'm just hosting it. So. Nice to meet you too. Sorry, I'm falling silent, more silent because, like I said, now that I've started writing, I'm starting to get an idea of where I'm going. So I tend to get like really quiet and focused. So I'm trying not to ignore you guys and keep an eye on the chat. But like if I go quiet for a while, feel free to just start typing nay, 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 and sending it, and I will notice. Everybody except for you, Cassidy, you can leave. You can take your nonsense and walk right out. Nay, I am feeling a bit hoarse indeed. I bet y'all didn't come here for the terrible jokes, but you're getting them anyway. Chopper, I am writing a spin-off for my Star Chaser series. I have a character that I'm going to introduce in the 4th book. I'm planning to start rewriting next month. And so knowing the trajectory of her story, I decided to write a spin-off novel where she features heavily so that I can get sort of an idea of her tone of voice and her personality before I have to figure it out in the midst of book 4. So Watson, that's a great question. I have different issues with both. I enjoy doing both. I am a perfectionist and I'm an extrovert. I have really bad social anxiety. So I have to really psych myself up for doing live videos like this. And I constantly am like second guessing how I present myself. But with doing videos, I like the fact that I can redo them as often as I like. But because I'm a perfectionist, if I mess anything up, I tend to get like more and more nervous, and my recordings get progressively along. So I think that they both have their merits, but my preference for going live is that because I'm an extrovert, I like the dialogue and I like this back and forth, like with being able to answer your guys' questions and things like that. So I think I probably lean a little bit more toward going live as long as I have coffee and as long as I've psyched myself up. So that was a very roundabout way of answering a straightforward question, but there you have it. And Chopper, thank you. I am enjoying it because unlike book 4, which I've stopped and started rewriting a few times and then finally decided to take a break on, there's no pressure with this spinoff. It's just purely for fun. It may or may not ever be published. So. Oh my gosh, Chief. Yes, well, hang on a second. I wonder. Nope, that's emojis. I thought that maybe they had added a feature where you could do GIFs. But also, where do you guys fall in the GIF debate? I feel like I can't be friends with anybody who pronounces GIF, but that's okay. I love you guys anyway if you do pronounce it that way. I feel like GIF rolls off the tongue better. So, all right, I can get to this part. Cassidy, tell your younger brother that I will be his adopted in sister. When he disowns you, I will take your place because we know how to pronounce GIF properly. That is not how you spell the word slow. I'm a terrible speller. Yes, Cassidy, it is like that. GIF is a sacred word. You must pronounce it properly. I have literally no ability to say these things, as I cannot spell the word preferred even to save my life. So you can pronounce it however you want, guys. Yes, but Chief, how do you pronounce it? I'm curious. Is it GIF like the peanut butter, or is it GIF like gift without the T? Okay. Chief, you're still in my heart. Wait, Chief, I may have to disown you also. Yes, Chopper, join Team GIF. We probably won't take over the world, but we'll sit around, clink glasses of cheap store-bought wine and be superior that way. Also, Chief, I see your Valve Cat GIF that you just sent me, and I would just like you to know that if you're not writing demons right now, I'm sad. But no pressure. I'm just saying, Chief, you could totally blow school off. You really shouldn't. I mean, do the mature adult thing, but I wish that you could write write things that bring you joy, not things that make you spiral deeper and deeper down into the abyss. I'm here to provide a procrastination platform, Chief. It's fine. It's fine. You could just, this goes until noon. So just noon my time. I don't know what time. I think that's like 2 a.m. your time. But just tell yourself you'll work on it after this. It's fine. It's fine. I've been stuck for 2 minutes on deciding if these are stallions or geldings, and I think that might also be a form of procrastination. It really doesn't matter if they're stallions or geldings. Whatever, I'm just going to say stallions because it sounds cooler. Hi, Heather. An hour before work. Working on the weekends is tough, but I admire your dedication to your job, and I'm really happy to have you here. I miss you. So let me know, or let us know if you're writing anything or if you're just here to hang out. Either one is perfectly fine, but would love to know what you're working on. If in fact you are indeed working on any projects right now. I don't know where you are with crossing the Rubicon. Rubicon. I probably didn't pronounce that right, but I would love to know where you're at with that if you're working on it. Nice. Line edits are a freaking joy, aren't they? Yeah, switching back and forth between editing and drafting, I think is really interesting because it just requires such a different part of your brain to get into edits. So I have one foot in the trenches with you, Heather, and one foot in the drafting trenches, and my brain's not sure how it feels about it today, but we're gonna work on it anyway. Chopper, I love it so much. I love, like, even if it's a book series that I love, which I'm one of the few people in the world who doesn't despise Twilight. I recognize it's problematic, but I don't despise it. I love when even things that I like get like subtle jabs in like pop culture media. It makes me happy. We're all part of one big fishbowl. Okay, I realized that I forgot to write a character into this, and I have to go back and add it in. Chief, I would send help, but honestly, like, the level of linguistics that you're in absolutely terrifies me. Like, you're the smartest person I know when it comes to linguistics. And so if it is intimidating to you, I should just kind of roll over and show my belly, because there's no way I would be able to do anything productive or helpful in this situation. So sending good thoughts and prayers, but you're on your own. Hi, Holly. Oh, yeah. Editing YouTube videos is fun. But I am wishing you the best of luck. I'm excited to see what video you've got coming up for Tuesday. You might have mentioned it on social media, but I'm really bad. My memory retention is really bad. So if you mentioned it, I don't know what your next video is about. So if it's a secret, lips are zipped. But if you want to tell us, please feel free to do so. No problem, Holly. We're here for you. Whenever you can jump by, you're good. I am working on a Star Chaser spinoff to try and get my muscles flexed back into drafting and to get to know a character that's going to show up in the rewrite of book 4, which is the next thing sequentially that I have to do. So I'm trying to get to know this character before I actually have to introduce her in the story. So, and then at this exact moment, I'm adding back in a character that I forgot needed to be in this scene. And this is what happens when I write out of order is I forget that characters exist. So yeah, Watson, go ahead. I am here. I can't speak for everybody. I am here to give honest opinions, so you are good to go. No problem, Holly. Whatever you need to do, you do it. I definitely don't want to interrupt your Saturday routine. So whatever you need to do, you are empowered, girlfriend. Okay, Chief, you can do this. I believe in you. 2 paragraphs is nothing. Nothing at all to one such as yourself. You can do this. Watson, I will definitely check out your video and I will let you know my thoughts. Fun weekends all around. Yes, we need it. Dude, I don't know about anybody else, but this past week felt like it went on forever. So, all about seizing the weekend. Coffee shop after this, because I clearly haven't had enough coffee yet. Yeah, this cat is all over the place right now. She gets really upset when I don't pay attention to her. So, hi. You gonna come over here? Apparently not. Oh no. Trying to turn my little twinkle lights on. I haven't had those on in forever. Don't know if you guys can hear in the background. My husband is trying to corral something. The dog, it sounds like. None of these animals really like me until I'm on video, and then suddenly they decide, since my attention is elsewhere, it's time. It's time for me to pay attention to them instead. True that, Heather. True that. Aw, I love when cats, like, rather than trying to usurp attention from writing, they sort of become the perfect little writing companions. I'm a cat person. I have 3 cats, so I will, with ardent fondness, stick up for and support the idea of having a cat in your lap. And then Heather's cat decides to just prove me wrong, and all cats are the same. Hi, JR. Yay. What are you working on? Are you working on your nano novel, or are you editing? I'm really bad with titles, I'm sorry, but are you editing? Are you writing, drafting? Let us know. My cat says hi, JR. Yes. Yeah, technically, like a big point of this this live stream was going to be, or this write-in was going to be, to help people who might be flagging with week 2 blues in camp. So obviously that's not all it's for, but I do recommend if you've got the week 2 blues, or if you're just trying to get ahead in camp, this is a place to do it. Dude, JR, I feel that so hard. Like, I had a friend who would always tell me that the best practice was to leave off in the middle of a sentence, because then you didn't have to get your momentum going. You could just play off the previous day's momentum. But I think it's a double-edged sword, because you can leave off in the middle of a sentence or the middle of dialogue and pick up the tone immediately, or it just kind of feels like everything fell off a cliff and you're like, where was I even going with this? So I commiserate. Stopping mid sentence, it doesn't always work. So not that you ask for advice, but I think sometimes even deleting the part of the sentence you have and rewriting the sentence can help you kind of get the momentum and cadence back. So just a thought. It's occasionally worked for me. So. Sorry, Chief. Yes, report back when we'll be your accountability partners. Report back when you have, sorry, the cat scratching my arm and it itches. Report back when you have caught up on your essay. You can do it. I can tell I've had way too much coffee, not enough food. This sentence was a train wreck. I said mountains instead of mounts. So wishing there were more mountains in the mountain range. That's a very specific thing to wish for and to have a problem with. These mountains are great. You know what? They could really use those more mountains. Yes, common complaint to be sure. Starting to get frustrated with myself, you guys. I cannot type this morning. Thanks, Heather. Yes. I definitely am on the too much coffee muddling, because usually my routine is I drink coffee and then I go to the gym with my husband and then I walk, and I do all of this before work because coffee has very profound impact on me. But this morning I was too busy doing other things and I didn't go for a walk. So yeah, I'm reaping the consequences. And after this, I'm going to get more coffee. So, but I feel like this is what Saturday is about. If I'm not crashing from too much caffeine, I have not spent my Saturday well. So I'll just have to keep going back and editing and editing and editing these lines until I get the words right. Oh, yay, we've gotten to the sad music. Awesome, my favorite. Describes a group of things people dislike or don't tolerate. A group of things. This is terrible, Chief. You shouldn't ask me this. My brain is already forgetting the difference between mounts and mountains. I actually don't. I don't know. I'm sorry. I literally can't think of any word for anything people dislike or don't tolerate. Oh, like pet. Yeah, that might be right. Pet peeve sounds right. The only thing I can think of is Peter Griffin and that stinking Family Guy thing. You know what really grinds my gears? But that's not a group of things. So let JR handle this one. Discouraged, maybe? I don't know. Things that are discouraged, things that are. Yeah, I don't know, Chief. Sorry, the brain is not here. What was it, Chief? I'm curious now. Ah, gotcha. That sounds like you something you would write about, Chief, whether it's an essay or a book. I feel that. Yeah, the brain deadness is getting fierce over here too, but I'm gonna endure for the next hour. No problem, Chopper. Thank you for joining in. I hope you had a lot of fun, and I'm glad that you got to write your Twilight and 50 Shades of Grey shout out. So have fun with schoolwork, and hopefully I'll see you next time we do one of these, which will probably be before too long because this is really, really fun. Bye. Sometimes I get the most ridiculous lines come into my head that I know it would be really funny if I did. It was something along because this dog, they left the dog on guard, and the dog dog was standing guard, and they come back and he's getting belly rubs, and he's definitely not standing guard anymore. And one of the characters goes, "Truly a dependable guard," and then his love interest says it's all about knowing where to scratch, and he's just going to ignore that. I left it in there. I'll edit it out later. It was funny at the time. No, JR, I refuse. I'm going to leave the funny line because I'm too caffeinated to care at this point. Cassidy, for whatever reason, and I don't know why it has this message as held for review, but it's making me laugh. That it wants this held as review. So I'm just going to leave it there. But yeah, I don't know. I may or may not edit it out. I mean, this is the purest written for my amusement thing ever. So maybe I won't edit it out. JR, I see what you did there, and that is beautiful. I don't think you should edit it out personally. I mean, okay, maybe it's a little on the nose, but if your villain can't have a little bit of fun being on the nose, do they deserve to be a villain? I don't think so. Okay, let me see here. Pardon me. Just roll with it, Chiefy. Just roll with it. The shorter the paragraphs are, the sooner you'll be done. And that is not a bad thing. Where did you put the I in strange? What is it? STRAINGE? Because I could see that. I could see that being confusing to the tired brain. Okay, that would be a bit strange, as you would have spelled it. Haha, so funny. Strange and unusual. It's fine, Sheep. It's fine. I mean, as long as you get it there while the teacher's asleep. I mean, it's not like they would have done anything with it before then, so it's fine. Okay, I really got to finish this scene. Bean, hi! I hope you slept well, and I hope that you're having a wonderful Saturday so far. Let me know if you are writing or editing or just chilling. It's all good. This is an open forum for any and all those things, even though I'm calling it a write-in. It's just here for fun. So This is good. Don't decide too fast. It's Saturday. Saturdays are for being able to slowly wake up. Yes, Chief, back here in the past with us poor non-time traveling folk, it's still Saturday. It's weird to think that it's already Sunday there. Well, let us know how Sunday is, Chief. I feel that, JR. Yes, Chief, you are our resident fortune teller. Tell us what's to come on Sunday so we can anticipate. Also, JR, you'll be proud of me. I stopped writing yesterday at my coffee house writing session because my computer was dying and I left off with, there's plenty to be proud of. The work you two have done with the children, and I don't know where I was going with that. Apparently my character doesn't either, so. Oh, right, I was in the middle of a depressing scene, that's why. It's okay, Chief, you can do it. You are leading us into a bright tomorrow. Do you, Cassidy? Do you love depressing scenes, Cassidy? I would never have guessed, Cassidy, that you love depressing scenes, Cassidy. Never have guessed. You people in your puppy dog. My dog is snoring. I think you literally just described what every single one of your books except maybe the prequel. Maybe, and that's only because torturing children is generally frowned upon. Go for it, Bean. I am, you know I want this scene. So please write it. I beg of you. Cassidy, her book is amazing. I mean, I haven't read the book. I've read snippets, and I love every single snippet that I have read. So sorry I keep shaking my desk, guys. I put this desk together myself, almost dying several times in the process, and it is not the stablest desk, so it rattles every time I type or knock into it or breathe too hard. So suddenly flirting is happening, and I'm really terrible at writing flirting. So there's going to be a lot more pausing now as I try to through this treacherous terrain. Send good thoughts. Bean, Doyle is the best. I love him. All of the kissing. I mean, that's true, Chief. But this is definitely flirting because I know how it ends up. So I'm trying to navigate it because I don't know that they know it's flirting yet. You can tell the difference when you're writing it. You just can't tell the difference when you're experiencing it. JR, I actually, and actually this is directed at Chief too, I tend to think that, especially with people, like when it comes to writing, when people have to supply their own tone to the story, I think that the line between banter and flirting really comes down to how the reader interprets it. Because like I've known so many stories where people say, you know, like a character A and character B were totally flirting. And I'm like, I definitely didn't see it that way. And nothing in the execution of the plot makes it seem like the author meant it that way either. So I think a lot of it really does come down to like seeing what you want to see on the page, which is probably where a lot of crack ships come from. Like I'm sure a lot of people thought that banter between, I don't know, Harry and Hermione and Harry Potter or characters in Twilight was you know, had like a romantic edge. Or I used to be fully convinced that Finnick and Katniss from the Hunger Games was like a thing, and then finding out about Annie, I was like, oh, I guess that really was just playful banter, not like hardcore flirting. I thought it was hardcore flirting, but apparently I know nothing, Jon Snow. So she would no longer be responding to her real name. She only responds to Chief. Yeah, Cassidy, your penchant for finding love in characters who have weapons at each other's throats is half the reason I had to read a bunch of my books. Wow, that was loud. Sorry, guys. So I blame you for that entire mindset, Cassidy. You're terrible, and I love you. All right. Chief, legitimate question, does anybody but your immediate family actually call you by your name? Which I don't want to say your name because I know I'll just butcher it, and I don't want to do that to you because I can't pronounce anything. Or eccentric stories I'm excited for. I know you've told me the titles, Bean, but I can't remember what they are. Must forgive me. Yeah, I can finally tilt my screen down because I stopped writing because my brain is totally fried. I'm gonna have to eat food before I can write more, so I'm gonna save my strength. Well, you mean your teachers don't call you Chief? Blasphemy. Also, I would like to know how to pronounce your first name sometime, like if you ever want to tell me, just because, yeah, I would like to know, so if I do call you by it, I don't butcher it too badly. Phonetic. Okay, that, is it Salon? Because in my head, I've been pronouncing it Cylon. Being, yes, like I do love, that's the kind of enemies to lovers thing that I love, by the way, is like they must want to kill each other. They start out wanting to kill each other, and then they're like, oh, actually, I don't think that this is hate. I think this is love. Okay, Salon. Okay, I can remember that. Two things I'm terrible at, spelling and pronunciation. And this is kind of my curse as a writer. So let's see, what else can I work on until I have to leave this house? That was the title, Bean. Thank you. All right, Chief, what is the funniest pronunciation that you've gotten? If you can feel free to spell it out if you like. I mean, I guess you'd have to for us to understand it. Oh, hi. I'm gonna sit here and guess what the name of this song is. Because this is the Braveheart soundtrack, which I listen to always when I'm drafting Star Chaser stuff. I've probably listened to this soundtrack all the way through, really close to 100 times at this point. I think this is it's either Sons of Scotland or The Legend Spreads. Nope, Gathering the Clans. Isn't this fun? You can just sit here and watch me guess what music I'm listening to. JR, I don't think I know your real name, which you don't have to say it here if you don't want to, but it just made me realize that I've always called you either JR or J Bear or JB. I'm a major nicknames person. Like, unless I'm expressly told that somebody wants to be called by their first name or their full name or whatever, I just nickname people because I have a very hard time. Let's see. Is it Jerusha? I'm guessing it's Jerusha, but again. Silently. Hey, it's like silently. Chief, I could remember that. I'm actually loving it. Okay, so I pronounced it. So I can and can't see why people panic when they go to read it. I mean, maybe just because I'm used to, and I don't know that it's connected to this, but I have to use or read the word Jerusalem a lot at my job. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, Jerusha, like Jerusalem. So my brain immediately makes that connection. But I can see why you would go by a nickname, or why a lot of people would decide to use a nickname. But yeah, I like give people nicknames way too soon in friendships, just because nicknames are my thing. So that's also why in like my books, like in Star Chaser, I'm trying to think of how many nicknames my main character has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And she has 7 nicknames. It means possessed. I can't tell if that's a grimace or a grin, JR, and honestly, I could see it being either one. But what is the story behind that, though, is what I want to know. Cora is my girl. Cora gets me. Although with Cora, I feel like it's a dominance thing, giving out nicknames. It's like, no, you don't deserve for me to call you by your real name. I own you, and I will call you whatever I darn well please. Actually, Cassidy, now that you say it, I have to think about it. So five of those nicknames actually are two cast members use one nickname, 2 cast members use another nickname, and then the other 3 of the main cast call Sistine by individual nicknames. Again, I have a nicknames issue. Promise I'm not on Pinterest, except I am. Okay, JR, that makes sense. Okay, I can see that. That makes sense, and I love names being passed down to the family. So I actually think that's really cool. Boy. Is this, Chief, was that nickname directed at a certain character we all know and love? I never know how much to say about, because each of you individually, I know a lot about your books, because we talk offline. So I try to respect privacy and not give out too much information. But Chief, I'm wondering if that's RW that he was talking to. I'm guessing it was, because who else would you call that? Oh, I see. Yeah, actually, that makes sense with Cora, giving people she likes nicknames. I have a friend who's like that he doesn't he doesn't let anybody call him by a nickname unless they're close friends. He's like, you can call me by my first name, and then if we get close, you can call me by a nickname. Oh, because Doyle to me feels like just not the kind of person who would take kindly to being called by his last name. I don't know why. He just doesn't seem like it. So I also like the fact that her nickname for him is D, because that is my older brother's nickname. So I am very fond of, well, I should say that's one of my older brother's nicknames. He bears the brunt of my nickname experiments. So like in my phone, he's Brussels sprout. That's his nickname in my phone. And I call him every variation of that. I call him Broski, Brussy, Brotato, Broside, and Lord of the Broshen. Like all of that. Dussy is a big one. DS. Like he has so many nicknames. It's amazing that he responds to them all at this point. Hey, Chief, I'm reading your comment. Okay, that's fair. So it's Red Wolf, then I'm guessing that Val calls Wolf Boy. Bye, Heather. I hope you have a great day at work. Take care. And I hope that editing went well on your novel. Bean, I'm guessing that he only is called Doyle when he's in trouble. Yes. Yeah, Broside and Lord of the Broshen. So like anytime you go on like Pinterest or Tumblr and you find a bro post, I start calling my brother by whatever I can find in those. So love you, Heather. I'm trying to find. Yeah, I'm officially 100% procrastinating now because I wrote what I could write until I get till I get food. So this is me over here looking at memes on my phone. I'm sure that's what you all signed up for. You can just come here and watch me listen to Braveheart music and look at memes on my phone. All right, where did that pirate thing go? Well, apparently I didn't save it to my phone, but I found a thing where it was like pirates, one of those pirates sailing across the ocean looking for treasure, not realizing the greatest treasure that they could have ever found was the friendships they were making along the way. And it was like, there be bountiful booty upon the sea. And then the other pirate goes, bro, your booty be the bountiest. Bro. So I have a thing for a pirate bro post. Anyways, JR, 86 words is 86 more words than you had this morning. So I am a firm believer in the fact that literally every single word is a victory. So even if it's not, even if you're not writing thousands of words a day, who cares? You're writing 86 of words a day, and that is also important. The small days are as important as the big days because they're all steps forward, is my opinion. So I am rooting for you and cheering you on. Keep waking my cat up to pet her. Master Seer Doc. That does sound pretty badass. If I was Doyle, I would be like, yeah, I guess you can call me that if you put master in front of it. Unless he doesn't like his grandfather, in which case, he's not a big fan of his grandfather. Okay, so yeah, I could see him not wanting to be called that. There's a name. Good Lord, people. There's a song I should show you, Bean, that makes me think of Doyle because of that. It has a line in it about not liking your family name. So So I'll see if I can find that later and send it to you. Nobody will be seated during the petting the cat session of this write-in. This is actually how I do quite a bit of my brainstorming. Cheese and grapes. Also, I don't know how to pronounce your username, so you'll have to forgive me. I don't know if it should be Laney. So I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but I am ridiculously jealous of your snack. Cheese and grapes sound amazing right now. I've been on a trying to eat cleaner thing for a couple weeks, and fruit has become like my new best friend. And so anytime anybody mentions fruit, I'm like, which is kind of difficult because I also am one of those people that's really sensitive to texture, and fruit has some funky textures by nature. So for me, hands down, brie. Brie is my absolute favorite cheese, and it's kind of a comfort food for me. Like I watched my brother play Final Fantasy 15, which if you play this game, you'll probably know why I needed comfort food, but I literally ate half a wheel of brie cheese while I was watching him play this one part of the game. His roommate just walked in and he's like, "Are you just eating brie cheese straight up with your fingers out of the rind?" And I was like, yeah, I definitely am. Brie cheese is my weakness. But then I ended up getting 3 bad wheels of brie cheese in a row from the local grocery store, and I stopped eating it. So I'm probably going to go back to it soon because brie cannot be abandoned. JR, I will say Final Fantasy 15 is my all-time favorite video game. And granted, I'm not like a Mondo big gamer, but I have played my fair share of video games, and Final Fantasy 15 is the best I've ever played. It has some issues with the plot is not always the easiest to follow, and you really can't get the full story without playing the DLCs. But just in terms of what you can do with the story, and the way you play the game out, it took me literally 2 years to beat it because I wanted to do everything, and they kept coming out with new quests and stuff. But if you like stories that are romance light and really heavy on friendship, which I was really into in the game, it was a masterpiece. It's, to me, the best voice acting of any Final Fantasy game, some of the best writing of any Final Fantasy game, and the best characters to me of any Final Fantasy game. So I 100% recommend it. And if you play it, please feel free to keep me apprised of your journey, because I'm about ready to play it again, even though it took me forever to beat it. So aged Swiss, I don't know. I don't know if I've had that, because a lot of we get a lot of our cheese from the local grocery store, and while they say oh yeah, this is a sophisticated smoked or aged cheese, I question that at $2.50 a package or $3.50 a package. So I may have had aged Swiss, but I cannot confirm that it's actually legit. And it's only in the last 5 or 6 years that I've become sophisticated enough to buy cheese that's not prepackaged, in terms of buying it in the cheese section as opposed to one of those fancy cheese cases. So I don't know if I've ever had aged Swiss, but I probably should. Puppy dog, come here, buddy. I guess because I'm normally so quiet when I'm in my office, the animals are a little bit nervous about this. Oh, hi, purring dog. Yeah. Oh, I know. Yush. I don't know if I can show him to you guys without him running away, but hi, puppy. Oh yeah, you can. There's a camera on you, don't you? Yeah, you don't like the camera. Yeah. Good dog. Yeah, see, that's kind of part. I have a hard time with stinky cheeses. I also have a hard time with sharp cheeses, to be honest. Yeah, it's my floofy dog. He just went to the groomers on Thursday, and he's still kind of stressed out about it. I guess maybe that's an older dog thing. I don't know. 2-year aged cheddar. That's a very specific. What about what if he got a 3-year aged cheddar? Would he still be okay with it, or can he tell the difference in the years of aging? I don't know if that's a thing because again, I am not a sophisticated cheese eater. So, yeah, handsome boy. The people love you, babe. The people love you, babe. Yeah, they do. You can jump up here. Yeah. Okay. His talent isn't that sophisticated. So he likes the cheese not because he knows it's 2 years aged, but that's just the one that he happens to like. Oh yeah. Oh, your breath is so stinky, doggy. Yeah. Oh, I know. Good doggy. Purple cheese. I wonder, was it like purple or was it like blue purple? Because one of my friends found at, I think it was like Trader Joe's, this blueberry goat's cheese or something. Okay, Ryan was purple instead of more off-white. Probably not the one I'm thinking of, so it's probably not a blueberry cheese. I wonder if that was a brand trademark, like the rind or wax, like if they do all their cheeses that way, maybe. I've never heard of that. I'm gonna Google it. Well, there is a purple rind cheese at Trader Joe's. That's interesting. There's a purple wine cheese that they sell in Wisconsin, and it's aged cheddar and Parmesan, and it's soaked in Merlot. So I wonder if that's what you tried, because you said it went well with wine. So I'm wondering if it was a Merlot soaked aged cheddar with Parmesan. I say as if I know a darn thing about cheese and have any right to, but that's what Google told me, so it must be true. It must be the cheese. Emmentaler cheese. People are going to get me all into these cheeses that I can't buy here. I already want yak meat, which you have to order off the internet. The Swissest of the Swiss. That looks so freaking good. I don't know how easy this is to get. What was the name of this cheese? Oh no, I can't remember now. There's this cheese that my mother-in-law introduced me to back before she was my mother-in-law. I stayed with them, with their family when I was 14 for 2 weeks, and they had this cheese, and I can't remember what it was called now. My husband probably remember. It starts with a K, but it was literally the best cheese I'd ever had, and I would literally want to just eat it, like just bite it off the block. It was so good. But it's not very widely sold. I found it at a Fresh Time, which if you don't live in the Midwest, you might not know what that is. It's kind of like a Whole Foods, Trader Joe's, but a little more affordable. And they sold it for a while and then they stopped carrying it too. So it makes me sad. I feel like all the best cheeses are very hard to find. Of course, that's the problem when you live in a small town. Everything is hard to find. We don't even have a movie theater in our town. So finding a special cheese is basically a no-go. Okay, so I know it's technically 10 minutes till, but my blood sugar is dropping because I'm really hungry. So I'm gonna say, well done, Chief. I'm very proud of you. See, you got it in before 2. I knew you could do it. I'm not gonna say how close to 2 because you got it in before 2, and that's what counts. But I'm actually gonna sign off a little bit early so that I can go eat before my blood sugar completely tanks and I go hangry. So thank you guys for coming here and talking and hanging out and doing some writing together. This was a lot of fun. So I'll probably do these, like try to do one of these a month or so we can hang out and encourage each other and things like that. So if you guys have like any specific dates you want to request, like if Saturdays are better or Sundays are better, shoot me a message on Instagram or wherever you usually find me. And I'll start trying to plan these out like maybe a month or so in advance and just have them ready and we can talk and do these kind of things more often. So thanks everybody for showing up. And I'm sure I will talk to you guys offline. So weekend mornings are good for me. Yeah, weekend mornings are better for me too. Usually my family wants me in the afternoons and evenings. So, okay guys, I will be around. I love you all so much. Thanks for coming. Hope you have a good time. Bye.